Little People, Big World star Matt Roloff's ups and downs with his 4 kids. Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Matt Roloff was thrust into the limelight in 2006 alongside then-wife Amy Roloff and their 4 children. And Little People, Big World fans are still fascinated with the family's dynamic. Matt and Amy welcomed twin sons Jeremy and Zach in May 1990, 3 years after tying the knot in 1987. They expanded their brood in 1993 with the birth of their daughter, Molly, and their 4th child, son Jacob, arrived in 1997. The couple made their reality TV debut on TLC in 2006, and 10 years later, Matt and Amy finalized their divorce after 28 years of marriage. While Little People, Big World documented their relationship highs and lows, it also shed light on Matt's ups and downs with his kids. "Our family, we love each other," Matt told Entertainment Tonight in May 2024 as tears welled up in his eyes. "There's been ups and downs as you can imagine, but all in all, I think we've accomplished some good things." While Matt's relationship with Molly has been kept somewhat quiet over the years, she keeps her life off social media when possible. His dynamic with his sons has been more visible. Scroll down to see Matt's ebbs and flows with his kids both before and after his divorce from Amy. Jacob is the youngest of Matt and Amy's sons, but he was the first one to exit the TLC series. He announced his departure in 2014 when he turned 18. "This spring marks 10 years since I got my money from the show. I was on for over 10 years of my life," Jacob recalled via Instagram in March 2025. "I was 18 and finally had the agency to not sign the contract, so I didn't, and promptly left home, mostly due to disgust for the show and reality TV in general." While neither Matt nor Amy publicly took issue with Jacob leaving home at such a young age, he was away from them for a while before relocating back to Oregon and the family farm. Jeremy married wife Audrey Roloff in September 2014, and the pair remained on the series until July 2018. Jeremy announced his exit via Instagram, revealing after 14 years on camera and 17 seasons with TLC, he and his partner were done. "It has been an amazing run, and I can't say thank you enough to all of you who have watched and supported us along the ride," he shared. "We have the most loyal fans on TV, and we appreciate every one of you. You are what made doing this so fun. We will still be supporting the family as they carry the LPBW torch onward. This is a decision concerning Audrey and me specifically. The show must go on." The couple, who share 4 children, have remained in the spotlight with their own YouTube series and podcast. Matt was reunited with all of his children in September 2018, as well as his ex-wife, to celebrate Jacob marrying Isabel Roloff at their family farm. "What a celebration! Congratulations, Jacob and Isabel, on taking the ultimate step of love, total commitment," Jeremy wrote via Instagram at the time, sharing a photo of the whole group back together. "The final step being living it out. So excited for you guys. Welcome to the family, sister. We're all married, and the family continues to grow." Jacob claimed in December 2020 that he was molested by an executive field producer on Little People, Big World, after a long grooming process when he was younger. "By revealing this, I may be more fully understood, and my perspective on issues such as child sexual abuse, child exploitation, and the collateral costs of reality television may be received more clearly," Jacob explained via social media at the time, giving more insight as to why he distanced himself from the show years prior. "Although, I would have to add that this experience has not solely defined my point of view on any of these issues, nor has it defined my worldview in general. I continue my own contemplation on the voyeurism involved in the entire enterprise of reality television, a massive spectacle of drama and pain and argument and invasion, with a little joy sprinkled over," that viewers watch completely disassociated from the complex humans inside the simplistic. Jacob made it clear that he didn't blame his loved ones for what happened to him. It must finally be emphasized that all fault lies with the predator, and no fault lies with any of my family members, he concluded. I am certain that this is a positive moment for me, and another step toward a brighter future. Responded to the allegations with a statement to us, saying was just informed about an alleged encounter that occurred years ago involving a third party connected to the production of Little People, Big World. We are saddened and troubled by this very serious allegation, and TLC will work cooperatively with the authorities. Our main focus remains on supporting the Roloff family during this very difficult time. Matt, meanwhile, supported his son's revelation. Love you, Jacob George Roloff. Very proud, he commented on Jacob's post. My twin boys decided not to consider working together toward a possible joint sale, Matt alleged via Instagram in May 2022, revealing he was listing 16 of the 108 acres for sale. Both of them, along with their growing families, had moved on to other interests and investments. Zach fired back at his father's claim that same month, writing via Instagram, "This post is a new shocking low of cowardice and manipulation of his family and kids for his own gain." Zach and Matt tried to negotiate a deal during the show, but they couldn't come to an agreement. Zach married Tori Roloff in 2015, and the pair remained on the series until 2024. Zach announced via YouTube in February 2024 that they were done with the show and the chapter has closed. He hinted that his drama with his father played a major role in their exit. The couple, who share 3 kids, also moved to Washington in October 2021 amid the family feud. We've made it pretty clear that we're done with that chapter for multiple reasons, Zach said in the YouTube video at the time. Because we've made that pretty clear, they haven't asked us back technically. This last cycle was rough between the family, the farm deal, and we were done with it. We've moved on. Since quitting Little People, Big World a decade ago, Jacob Roloff has not had positive things to say about his time on reality TV. But the TLC personality has taken what he can from his experience, using the money he earned from this show to create a full and vibrant life with his wife and son, he recently said. Jacob grew up on his family's TLC series, which chronicled his life with his parents, Matt and Amy Roloff, and siblings Jeremy Roloff, Zach Roloff, and Molly Roloff. He left the show when he turned 18, a decision he has never regretted. This spring marks 10 years since I got my money from the show I was on for over 10 years of my life, Jacob, 28, wrote in a March 2025 Instagram post. I was 18 and finally had the agency to not sign the contract, so I didn't and promptly left home, mostly due to disgust for the show and reality TV in general. After Jacob walked away from TV, he used the money he'd earned from LPBW to build my world back again with my wife, rather than capitalize on it for all it was worth, for better or worse, he added. Jacob married Isabel Rock in 2019. Their son Mateo was born in 2021. Since exiting Little People, Big World, Jacob has occasionally spoken out about his time on the show. In 2016, he wrote on Instagram that he would never return to playing a character on LPBW. In a 2020 social media update, he revealed he had been sexually abused by a producer on the show. A few years later, he shared in a Twitter post that he was paid roughly $6/her to be filmed for my whole childhood. I'm still called rich derisively lol. Raising his own child in the place where he grew up has been insightful, Jacob shared. It's also caused him to consider the future of Roloff Farms. What is the farm without a TV crew? He wondered. What can the farm be without TV? Roloff Farms was featured prominently in Little People, Big World, and a dispute between Matt and Jacob's brother Zach over a possible sale of the land was a major storyline in the later seasons. LPBW, Matt Roloff helps veteran live a better quality of life. Little People Big World celeb Matt Roloff has been called out a lot over the years for some of his antics on the TLC family show. However, away from the cameras, Matt recently helped a veteran by improving his quality of life. So what did Matt do, and what happened with this situation? Over the course of the 25 seasons that Little People Big World aired on TLC, Matt Roloff was often an easy target for fans to attack. Whether it was something to do with his parenting when the kids were younger, or some of his choices when his adult children had already made him a grandfather, there has been a lot for viewers to call out. One of the more recent things in Little People Big World scenes was all of the drama surrounding the botched sale of a portion of Roloff Farms to his sons. However, since the show is over and there have been no TLC cameras around to document, Matt Roloff recently helped out someone in need in a big way. Even though Little People Big World is no more, Matt Roloff still has a huge following of fans who keep up with things that he shares online. Recently, Matt Roloff brought attention to a local veteran who was in need of help. This person has been a regular visitor to the pumpkin patch at Roloff Farms for many years. Matt used his platform to bring attention to the fact that this man, Ronnie, was sleeping in a leaky old trailer, and Matt shared his GoFundMe link raising money to get Ronnie a new trailer. While the feedback on this post from Matt Roloff was generally positive, there were some people on the post who decided to be negative and put it down. Regardless of how many Little People Big World fans feel about Matt and the things he has done over the years, most commenters were in agreement that Matt was using his celebrity status to do something good and help someone out. Following Matt Roloff sharing this local man's GoFundMe campaign, he recently shared a follow-up update with proof of what happened with this situation. Along with sharing a smiling pic of Ronnie in front of his new, non-leaking trailer, Matt had some touching words to share. Matt Roloff said, "As promised, a follow-up to the story about our friend Ronnie who was sleeping in a leaky old trailer. Thanks to many of you, he now has a non-leaky, much roomier new home. They tell me he was overcome with appreciation to all those who made this. I'm sure more information's going to come out about all that in the meantime autumn line. That was terrible," the reality star added before referencing Donald Trump's implications that might have been to blame for the crash. Back to the beginning of this conversation, with you can be on the left and right, and you can have right-leaning opinions, even though you mostly resonate with left, or vice versa. I don't agree with how Trump politicalized it. Okay. Blaming the flight controller as possibly someone that got hired because of DEI, Zach said. I don't agree with that. Think that it's important to note that like 70 families' lives, 64 families' lives were just turned upside down, Tory pointed out. Give it a couple days before you start pointing the finger at everyone. Every president I've known since I started following politics has done this to a crisis here in America, has politicalized things. Let's put that down. This is not something new, Zach said. Trump's not the first president to politicalize a tragedy, so let's get that under the weather real quick. I voted for him, but I don't agree how he went about that. You know what I'm saying, and that's okay to say. Zach went on to argue that just because a person votes for a candidate doesn't mean they have to agree with everything that politician does. I don't think anyone that voted for Biden agreed with everything Biden did. You get what I'm saying a little bit? Zach asked. Like that should be better or more okay to say, but we're so. Decisive lines have been so drawn that no one can bend a little bit. The De La Motte family from Big Family, Big City don't follow the same strict fundamentalist religion as the Duggars, but they could be the next Duggar family, in a way, if Big Family, Big City gets a show on TLC. The special introduces the family, which includes 11 children, 2 parents, a home in Harlem, and a partridge in a pear tree. Oak, Not that last part, but you get the idea. Outside of television, the de la Mottes already made a name for themselves on social media. They even gained some critics along the way, which is a rite of passage for large religious families on reality television. Because of their following and their willingness to share their somewhat unorthodox life with fans and viewers, the de la Motte family has many asking if a permanent show is in their future. When the Duggars made their TLC debut, it was with a special called 14 Children and Pregnant Again, which came out in 2004. A few years later, the family was given their own show, but not before more specials were aired. That could be the plan for the de la Motte family with Big Family, Big City, and the family's fans are already asking questions about a permanent series. When mom Amber de la Motte posted a promo for the special on Instagram, someone commented, "Awesome. Love you guys. Will it be regular or one time only? So excited. You're the best." Amber commented back, "It's a 1-hour special for now," with a red heart emoji. But as other fans of the de la Mottes pointed out in the comments, other TLC shows started this way. When the Duggars made their TLC debut, it was with a special called 14 Children and Pregnant Again, which came out in 2004. A few years later, the family was given their own show, but not before more specials were aired. That could be the plan for the de la Motte family with Big Family, Big City, and the family's fans are already asking questions about a permanent series. I'm sure more information's going to come out about all that in the meantime. Bottom line, that was terrible, the reality star added before referencing Donald Trump's implications that DEI might have been to blame for the crash. Back to the beginning of this conversation, with you can be on the left and right, and you can have right-leaning opinions, even though you mostly resonate with left, or vice versa. I don't agree with how Trump politicalized it. Okay, blaming the flight controller as possibly someone that got hired because of DEI, Zach said. I don't agree with that. Think that it's important to note that like 70 families' lives, 64 families' lives were just turned upside down, Tory pointed out. Give it a couple days before you start pointing the finger at everyone. Every president I've known since I've started following politics has done this to a crisis here in America, has politicalized things. Let's put that down. This is not something new, Zach said. Trump's not the first president to politicalize a tragedy, so let's get that under the weather real quick. I voted for him, but I don't agree how he went about that. You know what I'm saying, and that's okay to say. Zach went on to argue that just because a person votes for a candidate doesn't mean they have to agree with everything that politician does. I don't think anyone that voted for with everything Biden did. You get what I'm saying a little